the same time. So cool.
Yeah.
All right, it feels like we're live right now.
Okay,
Let's
great.
give it.
Thanks for
Let's
being
give it.
patient on Instagram. We're going to
Let's
start right now.
let's give it a
Okay.
few seconds so we can get people jumping on Facebook and YouTube and
Okay.
Twitter.
Thank you for everybody who's jumping on.
All right, I think we're ready to get started, Carol.
Okay, very good. So my name's Carol Walker, and I'm a wild horse photographer and advocate. And I have Juan here with me, helping me out on the live show today, as usual. And he's going to be prompting me and giving me your questions also. So please do ask questions if you want to. And so I have been following wild horses since 2004 and photographing them. And I've been concentrating on certain areas like McCullough Peaks and Salt Wells Creek. And I have some new pieces here tonight. And I wanted to let you know that I am having a Black Friday sale. You've probably seen some posts about it. But tonight, I have in this show pieces that are on sale for probably 50% off what you could get them on my website. So it's an even deeper discount. And I will be shipping them directly here from Colorado. So they will go out immediately. No production time, just me shipping them to you. So it's very easy to have for Christmas gifts. So I thought I would get started with piece number one, which is a brand new piece this year.
Carol, it's important to give some sales instructions in case someone would like to take action through the sale.
Oh, yes. So if you want to purchase any of these pieces, you will go to the link in my profile and Instagram, and on Facebook you'll go to the post where I posted about the show, and you got on, and there's a link to purchase. And all you have to do is punch the link, and you'll see all the pieces, and you just hit one button and you can purchase.
Awesome.
Thanks for reminding me. Okay, first one is Thor's
Hey, Carol. Sorry to interrupt you. You have
Yes.
Susie Q. Marie asking you if do you ever do photo tours?
No, I do not. So the first piece is Thor's light portrait, and this is a metal piece, and this is Thor. So Thor I have known since he was born in 2011, and he was the most beautiful foal I had ever seen in my life. And I've followed him and seen him as a young stallion, and now he is a lieutenant stallion in Taliqua's band. And he's very dedicated at making sure that none of the other stallions get near the family. And so I was going to show close up a smaller piece so you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like.
You can come even closer to show us the details, especially for Instagram, that it's pretty far away, okay?
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So, and then you can see the back. And I love these metal pieces because they really bring out the color, the vibrance of the color. So this is a smaller version of this piece, so you can get a better look. And this one is $325, and it's 20 by 30. Then I have calendars in the sale. So I have Washiki, who was also from McCullough Peaks. And this calendar is devoted to him. And this is a large calendar, 11 by 14. And it's all pictures of Washiki. And I've known Washiki since 2006 when he got his first mare. And so this has been pictures of him through the years. And yeah. So this is available on its own and also with the Blue Zeus book.
And that calendar goes for $30, right?
$30 for this calendar.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a very nice price.
Yeah, which is cheaper than it's offered normally. Then I have a brand new piece for my trip to Sable Island. So Sable Island is this unbelievable place. It's off the coast of Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's a sand island that's 42 miles long. and there are over 500 horses there, wild horses, and they roam free, and no one is going to round them up, and no one is going to disturb them. So it's a very hopeful place. I enjoy seeing it so much. And as you can see, this stallion has an incredibly long, tangled mane, which is just gorgeous. And he's an older stallion. And I was standing on the beach and all by myself because the group had kind of gone off in another direction. And he led his mares right past me. And I just got the chills when I saw him. He was so beautiful. And this piece is called Sable Island Stallion in the Breeze, and it's $125. It's 10 by 20, and it's a canvas.
That's a lovely shot. Love that horse. Carol, we have Krista Andrews from Facebook asking, what camera brand do you use to shoot?
I use a Canon mirrorless camera, the R3, and I have a wonderful 100 to 500 lens. So I find that so that I don't disturb the horses, I really want to have a long lens with a lot of reach because I like to get in close and I like to get faces of the horses. So that's what I've been using and really enjoying the mirrorless camera.
That's cool. She's also asking if there's any places that you haven't been and you want to go to take photograph of wild horses.
Okay.
I know Carol has been around. I know that.
The Theodore Roosevelt National Park. I haven't been there yet, and those horses are right now under threat as well. I'm hoping that they are saved, and I can get there next year.
Awesome.
That's in North Dakota. All 4 of my books are discounted together. You can buy them together. You can buy them separately in the sale. So this is Blue Zeus. This is my most recent book. And then Wild Hoofbeats.
Could you get a little bit closer, Carol?
Sure.
Carol, your Instagram viewers are requesting you to zoom in.
So this is Wild Hoofbeats. This is Blue Zeus, my most recent book. This is Wild Hoofbeats, which is my very first book, and it's about the Adobe Town wild horses in Wyoming. And then I have my horse photography book, which is a cross between a coffee table book and a how-to. And then Galloping to Freedom, which was also set in Adobe Town, and it's about 3 families that we rescued and that are now at the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary.
Carol, we have Tammy asking if there's an Arabian horse, I believe, in your photos. She says, I think I see an Arabian. I don't know.
No Arabians in the sale, but I have Arabians on the website. So horses of land and sea, you'll find some Arabians in the desert. I actually taught a workshop in Dubai and got to photograph Arabians in the desert. It was just amazing. So there are some of the photos from that shoot.
Awesome.
So the next one is Bubba. So this is a new calendar for this year, and Bubba was a wild stallion, really iconic wild stallion in Salt Wells Creek, Wyoming. He's a curly and has a curly mane and tail. And sadly, he passed away this year, but he was one of the most magnificent horses I've ever known. And this calendar is a tribute to him. And it's $30. And it's also in combination with the Blue Zeus book as well. Grace and Donata, okay. This is Grace and Donata, and this is an acrylic print. So it's a little different. I love the acrylic and the metals because it really shows the beautiful color, and the acrylic gives kind of a depth to it, and it comes ready to hang. And this is Grace is a wild pinto mare, and her baby Donata is a Appy. The reason she's an Appy is that Looking Glass, her dad, is a leopard Appaloosa wild, And I followed him for about 5 years now. And I was so excited when Donata had her first foal and she had spots. So they're in Lost Creek, Wyoming. And I just saw them the end of the summer. And Grace has a new foal this year. And they're all doing really well. So I'm very happy about that. We had a very rough winter last year and lost half the horses in the herd, but they survived, and I was very happy about that. Let's see. Okay. So as I mentioned, the Washakie calendar and the Blue Zeus book come together, and also the Bubba calendar and the Blue Zeus book come together cheaper than you would buy them separately for $70. So another family in the Red Desert of Wyoming is, I call it Daddy's Girl. And Nissan is a stallion, and Isabella is nuzzling at him, and he is a wonderful father and very caring of his foals. So I enjoy that. And this is 11 by 14, and it's $75. Let's see. So an old favorite is the Wild Family. And this is in Oregon, actually, Palomino Buttes. And I went out early in the morning. I'm going to grab a smaller one, this one, so you can see it close up. This one is 325, and it's 20 by 25. So this gorgeous mare and her yearling, Carmelo, and her little colt. I was out there just before dawn, and the whole family walked up to me, and I just sat in the sagebrush and watched them, and I was just really captivated by them. So it's a sweet family picture. So another image, I can't walk this one over to you. It's a portrait of Blue Zeus, and it's huge. It's 30 by 40, and it's really impressive. This piece particularly looks gorgeous, large. It's very sharp, and it really shows the tangles in Blue Zeus's mane and all the details and his gorgeous eye. So it's one of my favorite shots of Blue Zeus. Blue Zeus is he's a roan pinto stallion, blue roan pinto stallion who I followed for 3 years, and in the Red Desert of Wyoming, in Arapahoe Creek, and a wonderful family. Had a wonderful family with 3 mares and foals and yearlings. And in 2020, his whole family was rounded up and removed and separated. And I worked very hard to help get him a new place where he could be with his family. And so he is now at a sanctuary in Oregon, and with most of his family. And I really treasure the time that I spent with him in the wild, and wish that he could still be free. Like all our wild horses, I wish they could still be free. But he's one of the lucky ones because he got into a really good situation and gets to live out his life with his family.
Carol, we have Krista on Facebook asking, where was the Wild Family photo taken?
Oh, Palomino Buttes in Oregon,
Awesome.
near Burns, Oregon. And then this is a new piece, although I took it a couple years ago. I hadn't printed it before. This is Jack of Hearts and his family, and it's a 20 by 30. And Jack of Hearts is an extraordinary curly stallion. His mane is curly, and he has a large family. And this is in Saltwells Creek, Wyoming. And this was a really stormy day, and the whole family started moving toward me. And I just think it's kind of a dramatic piece, and it's also on metal. And then speaking of families and Blue Zeus, we have Blue Zeus and his family. The entire family is in this shot, and it's really great getting to see all of them together. I was kind of a paparazzi for Blue Zeus. I was always taking tons of pictures of him, but not so often getting the whole family in the shot. So this was one of the really good ones where I was able to do that. And this one's $3.95. And it's I forget Juan what the size is. It's about 9 by.
That's number 22. Give me 1 sec. I'll give it to you. It's a
Get
12
it.
by
Get
36.
it for me.
12 by 36. Yeah.
12 by 36. Okay, great. So it's a big. Sometimes you need a long, narrow piece for a spot. And I have another shot of Thor that's an older piece. But I pulled it out and I was like, oh, I should bring this. This was Thor as a young stallion, just getting started. I think he was about 3 years old. And it's called Thor Turns His Head. And it's black and white on canvas. And his markings are just so stunning. He's a Sabino Pinto with blue eyes. So he's an amazing horse. And so this year, Thor had his first foal, and her name is Thora, and she looks exactly like him. So we have Thor and Thora, and this is a small piece that I call them minis, and it's only $59. It's 5 by 7, and it makes a great stocking stuffer. And so I like having these little teeny pieces because sometimes you don't want a big piece or you don't have room for it. And I have a bunch of minis in this sale. So
Yes. So for the viewers on Facebook, YouTube,
yes,
Instagram, Twitter, guys, if you're wondering where to purchase, where you can see all the stuff that is for sale through this live show, all you need to do is click on the link in the description of the post. If you're on Instagram, you can visit the link in Carol's bio, and you will get to the live show store. Super simple to use. You can select what you want to purchase, and that will take you to an instant checkout. Okay. Just if you were wondering, the links are available in the descriptions of the videos.
and for people who've just tuned in now, so I know I'm having a Black Friday sale for the whole website, but these pieces are about 50% off what you could get them for in the website. So this is a even deeper discount than the regular Black Friday sale. And they'll be shipping directly from me in Colorado, so you'll get them very quickly.
Hey, Carol, we have someone on Instagram asking what sanctuary in Oregon has the family photo?
It's Blue Zeus and his family is at Skydog Sanctuary.
Thank you.
The next piece is called Flying at Sunrise, and it's also an acrylic, $145, and it's small, but you can see the acrylic, it kind of really gives a depth of field to it. This was a beautiful sunrise morning in Saltwells Creek on top of the mountain, and all the horses started running in front of the sun. It was just unbelievable. I was crying. I was so moved seeing all these beautiful horses running for the sake of just running and enjoying being alive. They weren't running from a helicopter. They weren't running because they were scared. They were just running because they could. And I felt so privileged to be there. And this piece also is in metal in a larger size in the sale. Picasso Runs Up is the next one. This is one of my favorite pictures of Picasso. Picasso was a wild stallion in Sandwash in Colorado, and just the most magnificent stallion. Lived to about 32 years old, which is amazing. And I really feel like this is an iconic image of him. He was just a spectacular stallion. So, and this one's 12 by 12 and it's on canvas. Let's see. What else? Thor rears. You can probably tell I love Thor. So he's really my favorite stallion. This one is 5 by 7. It's on canvas, and it's $59. So the McCullough Peaks wild horses right now are under tremendous threat. The BLM is planning to start rounding them up on the 27th of this month. And I and my friends have done everything we could think of to try to save these horses. And we're still urging people to call the Chamber of Commerce in Cody, to call the Cody BLM, to call the head of the BLM. There are only 175 horses in this herd, and a third of the herd is aging over 15. And many of these horses may die over the winter. And if they bring the herd down to 140 horses, we are afraid that they will be compromised genetically. And the BLM is also planning to use a really severe form of birth control called Godicon on the mares, which will sterilize them. And we really don't want there to be no horses left. It's a magnificent herd with some amazing horses, many of them very colorful. And they live on 110,000 acres, and they should be able to be left where they live with their families. The BLM had for many years touted a birth control program that was keeping the birth rate at 2%, and yet they still want to remove 41 horses. So I'm sorry, this is it's a topic that is near and dear to my heart. So it's been it's definitely McCullough Peaks night here in my live show. I have a lot of images from McCullough Peaks. And so I encourage you, if you're interested, to go onto my Instagram and my Facebook accounts and look for my talking points and people to contact to help the horses. I've got links there that you can follow, and anything that anybody can do. We're also just hoping for a miracle, and or that the weather comes in and they can't do the bait trapping. One of the two or both to save this herd. So another couple of horses from this herd is Tough and Tully. Tough is probably the best mother I've ever seen with wild horses. She's a wonderful mare, 17 years old, and she had a foal this year, and her name's Tully, and she's only a month old. So we're hoping that if they do proceed with the bait trapping, that the BLM is gentle with them. But this is a 5 by 7 piece, and it's for $59. As you can see, Tully looks just like her mom.
Hi, Carol. We have Sid Pat 1960 saying, I'm in CSC, sorry, and I've fallen in love with them through you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, I when I first got involved in 2005, I saw that wild horses were getting wiped out and they were being rounded up and removed. And I wanted to make sure that people knew that they weren't starving to death, that they're so well suited for the lands that they live on, and that they deserve to belong there. And I thought, you know, if I can show people a picture of these horses, they can fall in love with them and they want to help them and realize that they belong there and they're worth fighting for. So off to another mini, off the subject. This is called Two Percherons, and it's a snow picture, and they're domestic horses, they're Percherons, in the snow. So that's always fun for Christmas, I thought. And it's a 5x7 for $59. And I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 minis in the sale. So it's fun having the little ones. Another domestic horse mini is two Appaloosas, and this was taken in northern Wyoming. These are not wild, but they're fun because they're good friends, and they're both Appaloosas, and they were running through the snow. And this one's also $59 and 5x7. All of these images, I also wanted to say, are available on my website in larger sizes. So if you want something in a little bit different size or smaller size, larger size, it's on my website.
Susan Meesen asked if you could show them closer to the camera on Instagram.
Sure. Okay, I'll do that with this next one. This was also for my trip this fall to Sable Island. This was my third trip to Sable Island. And this magnificent stallion with a very long mane and tail was in the grass. And it's just amazing. These horses have a very rich grass, and they have beaches to go on, and they're just wonderful. And they're not used to being harassed by people, so they don't really care that you're there. And I really enjoyed watching him. And this one's a 5x7, also $59. Washaki's long mane. Okay. This is kind of the McCullough Peaks corner here. We have lots of McCullough Peaks. This is Washaki, and this one's $165. It's 8x12, and it's a metal print. And as you can see, Washaki does have a long mane, and was really magnificent when he would kind of arch his neck and puff himself up if there was another stallion around. So that's what was going on here. And I enjoy having, as you can see, most of my work is in color, but I do black and white because sometimes because it's more dramatic. And especially for a black and white horse, black and white works really well. Oh, and the back of the metal prints looks like this. So it's got a hanger. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, and then two Sable Island stallions. This is my first trip to Sable Island. And I did it on, you can either go by helicopter, plane, or boat. And I was on a boat. And we landed in a Zodiac on the beach. And we walked out to this pond. And I was looking right into the sun. And this one stallion comes running down the hill towards this other stallion. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And they came up and they were kind of pushing each other and going, and they were clearly friends. There was no antagonism there. They were just kind of having a little meetup, and just so magnificent, these stallions. This is my best-selling piece of all time. And this is an 8x12, and it's $165. And I think it looks great on metal. This piece also, I have mostly sold it as 40x60. So people buy it very large, and it looks wonderful on a big wall. Let's see, Gypsy in the Forest. Ah, okay. This one's really fun because this is a Gypsy Vanner, a domestic horse. This was in Alberta, Canada. He was 20 below. And we were photographing, and I saw her against the trees with these gorgeous blue eyes, And so, yes, this is a Gypsy banner, and it's 8 by 12, and it's $165. And she's just a stunning mare. Wanted to talk a little bit about my book, Blue Zeus. So this is Blue Zeus, and I wrote his story about the years that I followed him in the wild in the Red Desert Complex of Wyoming, and talk about the situation facing wild horses, and then about the roundup and what happens during roundups, and then also the process of trying to find him at 2 different facilities owned by the BLM, and then finally find his mares and help get him adopted and at the sanctuary. So it tells the entire story of his life, and I'm very proud of it. This is my 4th book, and it's really a tribute to him and to all wild horses. I was going to read something from the introduction. Blue Zeus is an extraordinary horse, and he deserved to have been left wild and free to live out his life with his family in the Red Desert of Wyoming. But all our wild horses deserve the same. They deserve our care and respect. They deserve to be managed in their homes with the least invasive and most researched methods available. We must speak out for them and create change to protect them. They are valuable in and of themselves and should not be a pawn for powerful political interests. Their wildness is a huge contribution to the soul of our nation and to those they touch with their wild spirits, their beauty, and their freedom. And I'll just come up here, show you a few pages.
How many images of Blue Zeus do you have in that book, Carol? Approximately. It doesn't have to
About over 100.
be. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and lots of pictures of Blue Zeus. So in all the pictures except the ones of the roundup, because I wasn't there that day, are done by me, and the text also. And this book has won several awards, including a really prestigious one, the Benjamin Franklin Award for Independent Publishers. It got a gold award. So I'm really proud of the book.
That's awesome. I think we have a final question, Carol, from Krista as well. Just asking, so we can contact and help the fight. I guess.
Yes.
What are the instructions, numbers, how they can help?
So the best way to help with the McCullough Peaks horses right now, who are the BLM is planning to start rounding them up on the 27th of this month, is go on my Facebook page, which obviously you're already there, or my Instagram page, and you'll see I talk about there's a link to talking points and some phone numbers that you can call. So that's what we're doing right now. And any ideas that you have, or friends you might know, or people you might know that could help, fantastic. I'm kind of out of ideas right now. So any help is very welcome for the horses. Any other questions?
Not for now. What about Instagram, Indra? Do we have any other questions in there?
Nope, all good and sound on Instagram.
Cool.
Okay. And again, the sale is, we're going to be extending the sale, right, Juan?
Yep.
And we're extending this sale until Sunday. So you have until Sunday to go ahead and purchase any of these pieces. And I'm very open to any questions you might want to message me. I'm happy to help. And I'm absolutely delighted that you're spending time with me and listening to me talk about the horses and about my artwork.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carol. Krista is saying thank you for all you do on behalf of the wild horses on Facebook too.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So I think we're ready to close the live show, Carol. You
Okay,
can do it
sounds
on
good.
Instagram, and I'll
Close
be
it out.
doing that.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being on.